Hello, and welcome to this brief summary of the Meadow Farms ADA project. Caltrans is the lead agency for this project, and this presentation is intended to provide information about the project process, why the project is needed, the highlights of the design alternatives being considered, and how to submit comments or questions. Caltrans is proposing a project and would like your input. The project limits are along US 395 from North CV Lane to North Barlow Lane in Inyo County near the city of Bishop. A draft environmental document, initial study with proposed mitigated negative declaration and environmental assessment has been released, and comments are being accepted until June 1st, 2020. Here is a map of the project location. Here is a satellite image of the proposed project limits shown by the tan circles at North CV Lane and North Barlow Lane. As you can see in these two example photos, there are gaps in the sidewalks along US 395 in this area. Not all of the sidewalks which currently exist meet the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, standards, and the existing bicycle lane on the northbound side of the highway ends at CV Lane. The purpose of the proposed project is to upgrade US 395 facilities to meet Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, standards and provide multimodal transportation options. ADA standards require wider sidewalks than the current facility. Driveways, curbs, ramps, and gutters would be constructed or updated to meet standards and to define access points onto US 395. A Class 2 bicycle lane would be added on both sides of US 395. A crosswalk would be added across US 395, halfway between the existing crosswalks at CV Lane and Barlow Lane. A dedicated bus pullout would be added at Bishop Plaza. In 2016 to 2017, Inyo County developed a conceptual plan to guide future improvements on North Sierra Highway, which is also what this section of US 395 has been called. Public input was solicited in 2016 and a public meeting was held in May 2017 for additional feedback. Caltrans' Meadow Farms ADA project was developed to improve ADA access on North Sierra Highway, but is also trying to incorporate elements from the county's plan to accomplish bicycle and pedestrian or multimodal goals. Information about the county plan can be obtained by contacting their planning department at 760-878-0263. There are two design alternatives under consideration. There's also one no-build design alternative under consideration, which would not build the project. One of these three alternatives will be chosen after public comments have been considered. A final selection is anticipated by October 2020. Permits, plans, and right-of-way acquisitions would be completed by November 2023. Construction would occur in summer 2024. In the project area, US 395 currently consists of 4 travel lanes, that's 2 in each direction. These lanes vary from 11 to 12 feet wide. It also has one center 2-way turn lane, which varies in width from 10 to 12 feet. Multiple businesses along the corridor do not have defined driveways, allowing vehicles to enter the highway at many locations. Sidewalks vary from 4 to 10 feet wide. Most of these sidewalks do not meet current ADA standards, and multiple locations have no sidewalks at all. Highway shoulders vary between 4 and 6 feet wide, and dedicated bicycle lanes do not exist throughout the project area. There are common features between both build alternatives. The build alternatives are called Alternative 1 and Alternative 2. These common features include 4 travel lanes, again that's 2 in each direction, each being 11 feet wide. They both include one center turn lane that would be 12 feet wide. They both include a pedestrian activated signal and crosswalk, which crosses US 395 between North Tusu Lane and McGregor Avenue. They both include designated bicycle lanes and a designated bus pullout near Bishop Plaza. Alternative 1. The major features of Alternative 1 are that it would widen the highway facility by approximately 7.5 feet on both sides of US 395 for a total widening of approximately 15 feet. This wider facility would allow a center turn lane, 4 travel lanes, 2 bicycle lanes, dedicated parking spaces on US 395, and ADA compliant sidewalks. Alternative 1 would widen the bridge over Bishop Creek, and it would also require relocating utility poles and business signs that fall within that 15 feet of additional right-of-way required. As you can see in this conceptual image of what Alternative 1 would look like, starting from the outside in, the facility would have a 6-foot sidewalk, 8-foot parking lane dedicated for parallel on-street parking on US 395, a 5-foot Class 2 bicycle lane, and then 4 11-foot travel lanes with the 12-foot center turn lane. The major differences between Alternative 1 and 2 are that Alternative 1 would require this additional right-of-way to build a wider facility. The additional right-of-way for this facility would allow for on-street parallel parking along US 395. The bridge over Bishop Creek would need to be widened under Alternative 1. It would also require relocating utility lines, poles, and business signs that fall within the additional right-of-way required. The estimated cost of Alternative 1 is $16.7 million. Alternative 2. The major features of Alternative 2 are that it would be built mostly within existing Caltrans right-of-way. The US 395 facility would be built with a center turn lane, 4 travel lanes, 2 mixed-use highway shoulder and bicycle lanes, and ADA-compliant sidewalks. As you can see in this conceptual image, looking from the outside in, Alternative 2 would construct 5-foot sidewalks, then 5-foot bicycle lanes and shoulder mixed use, and then the 4 11-foot travel lanes and the 12-foot center turn lane. This alternative would not allow on-street parking. Alternative 2 would not require continuous additional right-of-way throughout the project limits like Alternative 1 would. Some right-of-way may be needed at specific locations for culverts, driveways, and signal cabinets. Alternative 2 would require fewer utility relocations. It would not widen the bridge over Bishop Creek. On-street parallel parking on US 395 would not be allowed. And one parking lot is proposed to be purchased and developed in order to replace a reduction in parking. The estimated cost of Alternative 2 is $15.3 million. In order to mitigate for the loss of parking, one parking lot would be purchased and developed into a parking lot for public use. As seen in this photo here, 2 potential off-street parking lots have been proposed as indicated in the gray and tan triangles. Please note only one of these 2 proposed parking lots would be developed. To request a copy of the environmental document or to submit questions or comments, please contact any of the following Caltrans staff. The document can be mailed in a hard copy format, emailed in a PDF format, or a CD with the document saved on it can be mailed to you. You can contact Angela Calloway at angie.calloway@dot.ca.gov, Bradley Bowers at bradley.bowers@dot.ca.gov, or Florine Trainer at florine.trainer@dot.ca.gov. As a reminder, all comments are due by June 1st, 2020. For individuals with sensory disabilities, this document can be made available in Braille, in large print, on audio cassette, or on computer disc. To obtain a copy in one of these alternate formats, please call or write to the Department of Transportation, attention Florine Trainer, Public Information Officer, at 500 South Main Street in Bishop, California, 93513. You may also call 760-872-0601 or use the California Relay Service at 1-800-735-2929. Hard copy comments and requests can also be mailed to Caltrans District 9, attention Angela Calloway, at 500 South Main Street, Bishop, California, 93514. You are welcome and encouraged to provide any comments, questions, and preferences you may have. Here are some sample questions which may help. Do you have a preferred alternative? Is there another alternative you would like considered? If you prefer alternative 2, do you have a preference which potential parking lot should be developed? Do you have comments on how Caltrans analyzed the potential environmental impacts of the alternatives? Thank you for your time and interest in the Caltrans Meadow Farms ADA project.